Hi everybody! Hi guys, it's Judy here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you're new here, welcome. Hi! Today I want to talk about a lot of plants. Today I want to talk about plants that I've recently bought. So today's video is another big plant haul. A lot of these I bought in one day. Some of them I bought other days. So it's like a collective plant haul over the last 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. So I'm just gonna get started. So if you remember in my first plant haul video, I mentioned this nursery in Ballarat called Formosa Gardens. I drove the 2 hours down there. I'm one of those people, I always say I hate driving, but also me will drive 2 hours to a nursery just to buy plants. That's the kind of person I am. So I went to Formosa Gardens and I got a few things from there. So the first thing here is a Hoya Crimson Princess. The leaves are so pretty. They've got some little pink bits on the stem, like the stems are pink and the leaves have a little bit of a pink hue to them. I think they mature out to like perfect green, but when they're young, they have a bit of variegation on it. Looks like one of these stems is like a full green and a couple of the other stems are a variegated green, but it's so pretty. And I couldn't decide which plant to get. So, you know, what do you do when you can't decide between two plants? Do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. No, but that's not what I did. I bought both of them. So this one is really pretty as well. It's got those stunning foliage. I don't know if I'm going to pot them together into one larger pot to make one big plant or just keep them both separate like this. I still need to go through the pest prevention process that I've spoken about in previous videos, like the wash down and the spray over with neem oil before I integrate them in with my existing collection. But when I purchased these plants, I looked through and made sure they didn't have any pests on them or signs of pests, things like that. So those are the first two that I got from Formosa Gardens. So this is another Hoya. I don't know what kind of species it is, but it looks like a carnosa. Oh, it's a Pubicalic silver. It's not a carnosa. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. So it's got tiny little white flecks on the leaves there. I've never had any of my Hoyas flower indoors. I think that might only happen if it's outdoors or if it gets a lot of bright direct sunlight if it's indoors. It has a really nice runner coming out here, a runner coming out on this side as well, and there's another couple little growth points coming out in the center there. So I feel like it's going to be a really good growing plant for me. I think that's all the stuff I actually got from Formosa Gardens. All the other ones I got from there are actually plants that I bought for the other people. I bought a couple of Mother's Day gifts there as well, and some for my sister. My sister actually doesn't have houseplants, or didn't have houseplants, but now she does because I've influenced her to start integrating plants into her home decor because she's seen in my home how nice it looks. She's starting to integrate a few into her home as well. So another plant conversion for me. I also went to Westlake Nursery. So this is another nursery that I went to. I spoke about in my last plant haul. This nursery is stunning. I'm going to put a bit of B-roll here. How beautiful this nursery is. Their plants are so beautiful, big and lush. The quality of their plants is incredible and the prices are quite fair. I did spend a fair bit of money there, but the prices are quite fair. So I'm going to show you what I got from there. I purchased a couple little Sansevieria, or there's another name for it now, Sansevieria. I don't think that's the scientific name for it. They just changed it around on us. But I know these as Sansevieria or snake plants. So I got one of these. I'm not quite sure what the scientific name for this particular one is, but if I can do a bit of research, I will leave it on the screen. And then I got one that's a little bit of a different shape. I have a few darker corners in my house that I would like to brighten up with some plants, but I needed plants that are okay in lower light conditions. And snake plants or Sansevieria are one of those types of plants. So that's why I got these to put in those darker corners of my house. And for those darker corners as well, I did purchase this Zanzibar Zenzi. This doesn't look like the normal ZZ plant. It looks like it's a little bit more compact and the leaves are a bit more dwarfed or a bit smaller. But they have the same characteristics in that it thrives on neglect and you can just kind of like leave it in a darker spot and they will still grow. So that's why I got those 3. I wish I had the names for these 2 Sansevieras, but if you guys know the ID of these, please do let me know in the comments down below. I would love to pick your brains as to what the ID of these 2 plants are. I've also been by Bunnings a few times in the last couple of weeks, so I'm just going to quickly show you what I got from there as well. I have a couple alocasias. I think these are alocasia Wentii. What is it? It just says alocasia sorted because Bunnings has got a lot of alocasias at the moment. But I picked this one up. It was only $13.80, but it was quite a fairly large plant and it's got a new growth spot coming out there. And I purchased another. I've got 2 of them actually, so I could pot them together. But I actually kind of like the way that it looks on its own. Now, if you guys remember, I think in my last plant haul, I was talking about some silver dragon alocasias that I got from my workplace. And I was so excited because I hadn't actually seen any alocasias like these. And then a few weeks later, I saw them at Bunnings for $13.80 and I paid, I think, $22 for the ones that I got from the other place. And I was so angry because, well, I was angry at myself that I just impulsively bought them, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. And I was so mad that I saw them at Bunnings for much cheaper that I went ahead and bought another 2. I love these though, they are beautiful. Look at that foliage. It's just very striking, isn't it? I think that the care of these alocasias are fairly the same as all my other alocasias, so we'll see. I keep a very close eye on them because apparently alocasias can be quite prone to spider mites. So I keep a very good close eye on all my alocasias and make sure that they are well taken care of, keep a really close eye on them. I had problems with one of my alocasias actually, one of them which I since got rid of the plant. It wasn't worth the hassle of trying to get rid of the spider mites on it and the plant wasn't doing very well. Sometimes it's okay to throw plants out if it means you're gonna protect the rest of your collection from the pests that they might, what's the word, come across, battle with, I don't know what the word is I'm thinking of. But anyway, so I picked up 2 of those from Bunnings. And what else did I get from Bunnings? A couple other little things. I purchased this it's not a, what is it, Syngonium. I'm not quite sure what type of Syngonium it is, but it's really pretty. It has a little bit of pink on the stems there in the center of the leaves. So pretty. And I also got another couple Syngoniums from Bunnings. These ones are a pink neon, something like that. I'm still learning all the names of these different plants, guys. I just look at the plant and I think it's beautiful. I know the variety, I know the genus, but I don't know the actual name of it. There are so many tissue culture plants out there these days, I just can't keep up. I don't know what's what. I just know it's a Syngonium and it's pretty. I got 2 so I could pot them together, but again, they are fairly large plants on their own as they stand. So I think I might leave them in individual pots. But look at that foliage. I'm just gonna hold this for a minute here so you can appreciate the beauty in this foliage. Just look at that, so pretty. So I also went to Westlake Nursery. This is the nursery that I spoke about in my very first big plant haul video. And I got a few things from there. So the first thing I wanna share is this Ficus longifolia. I was actually looking for this Ficus everywhere. And I've seen it a few times in Bunnings, but for a tree this size, it was just way too much money. I didn't want to pay for it. I got this one from Westlake Nursery for $85, and I'd seen one kind of like two-thirds of this size from Formosa Gardens, and it was $120. So going to Westlake Nursery was really worth the drive, and I got a plant that I feel was really worth it. So it's got a couple stems in the pot. So whenever I'm shopping for plants, I make sure that there's at least 2 or 3 stems growing out of the pot, not unless it's something that I feel is okay to purchase as one plant on its own. Look how beautiful. It's a fairly large tree as well, and it's so pretty. It actually looks like a gum tree or a eucalyptus tree that are native here to Australia. And it almost doesn't look like a ficus tree to me. I'm guessing longifolia, which means long foliage. That's why it's called that. I'm not sure if that's the scientific name, but I'm guessing that, it's funny, I bought this tree, but I didn't actually look at the care for it, but I'm guessing that because it is a ficus, it'd have similar care needs as my other ficus trees. Ficus do really super well in this space, and I actually haven't lost any yet, so I'm hoping that's the case for this ficus as well. Look how stunning this foliage is. It's very I feel like it's very elegant and very architectural almost. So I kind of want to put this in a space or in a corner of its own where it can stand out and shine. So that's kind of a little bit of styling idea. I wouldn't say tip because I'm not a professional stylist, but I think I do pretty good in my space here. I just, you know, you got to trust your gut. When you have a space and you like the way it looks when you style your plants or your furniture or whatever in that space, sometimes that's all you need. You got to trust your gut and know the kind of look that you like and stick with it. Like it's not necessarily right or wrong. You just kind of like, you have to love the space that you live in. And that's kind of why I'm continuing to purchase all these plants, because I feel like it's never enough. Have you heard that audio on TikTok or Instagram Reels? It's never enough.
It's never ever. It's never enough.
I did a plant reel to one of those audios. You should go check it out on my Instagram. Ficus longifolia. Really super love this tree. I'm so happy that I found it. I was looking for it in a few places and couldn't find it, so I'm finally glad that I was able to tick this one off my wish list. All right, also from Westlake Nursery, I got this Snow Queen. Is it a Snow Queen? Epipremnum. I already have one of these, but I just couldn't pass up this basket. Look how lush it looks at the top. It's so full, it's so healthy, and there's a lot of air roots growing on this one stem here. So even if I did want to cut this and propagate it, it'd take very quickly because it has so many aerial roots growing on that as well. I know people are going mad about mandulas, and apparently mandulas are Snow Queens but with the green and the white reverted or switched around. So if the leaf is growing white from the stem, that's mandula, and if it's growing green from the stem and then going out to white, it's a Snow Queen pothos. But apparently mandulas are really super expensive and Snow Queens are just another plant. So I don't really understand this whole reverting kind thing. I don't really understand the whole world of rare plant collectors. And that's okay. I kind of low-key don't really want to explore that world because it's a very expensive world to be in. Here I am saying with a lot of plants around me that cost so much money. But I would prefer to spend a lot of money for a lot of plants rather than a lot of money for one plant. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so I got this Snow Queen pothos, but as I was mentioning about a mandula, there is actually one stem in the center of this pot that I feel has converted into mandula, I think. So I'm hoping if I just let it grow, it'd just get bigger. I'm not gonna cut it out. So I'm gonna leave it in the center of the plant and hope that it just gets bigger. But I just wanna show you to see if you guys think that this is actually a mandula growing in the center of my Snow Queen. So you see that there? Those leaves there? I don't know if that's a mandula growing in the center there, but I don't know, fingers crossed. I love the plant as it is anyway, mandula or no mandula. I just love the way that this baby looks. She's so lush and full and beautiful, and I really hope that I don't kill this one, but I feel like she's fairly advanced in her growth stage, that she'll do quite well. So I'm just going to make sure that she gets a lot of sunlight, let the soil dry out. These plants drown very easily, so just make sure that you let the soil dry out completely between waterings for the Snow Queen Epipremnum, or it's not a pothos, I think it's Epipremnum. I get mixed up with all these names. Really love that one. I already have one, but couldn't pass this one up. She was speaking to me. She's calling my name. She's like, take me home. So I did. I also purchased this basket of Syngonium. I don't know exactly what kind it is. I think it's a pink butterfly or something, but I'm not entirely sure. If you know the idea of it, please do leave it in the comments down below. I would love to know. But look how beautiful and full this basket is. She's just so, I just love how round it is. The pot's very dirty, but I will give that a wash a little bit later on. But look how stunning this foliage is. So beautiful. It's very green, it's very lush. The plants from Westlake Nursery are incredibly good quality plants for what you pay for them. I feel like something like this elsewhere would be labeled with a price that's anywhere from $40 to $50 to $60, but this one is $30. Oh, a couple two plants that I bought from Bunnings as well. Missed these ones before. These are Monstera monkey masks. I don't know why they're called that. They look like the Swiss cheese Swiss cheese plant, the Monstera adansonii. That's what they look like, but the holes aren't quite as long and skinny as a Monstera adansonii. I actually purchased 2 because I just wanted to pot them together to make one larger plant. So yeah, I got those 2 from Bunnings as well. These are stunning. It has a couple little growth points here. There's a new leaf coming through on this stem as well. Same with this one, there's a new leaf coming through there. So that's just a few things that I keep an eye out for when I'm purchasing new plants, is making sure that the plant itself has a few new growth points coming through, so you know that it is a happy plant and that it's gonna do well for you when you bring it into your own home. So yeah, got these 2 monkey masks. It's a funny name for them. I wonder if there's a scientific name for it, or if it's just another tissue culture of the Monstera Swiss cheese plant. So anyway, that's really cute. Love that one so much. I can't wait for this one to get really big. She's gonna be so cute. I also purchased this from Westlake Nursery. I got another hanging basket. This is either a string of pearls or a string of tears. I'm not really sure which one of the 2 it is. You guys have a look and tell me in the comments if you think that one's a string of pearls or a string of tears. I'm not entirely sure if there is actually a difference. I don't know, but these baskets were on sale for $25, so I simply had to pick one up. It's got a few flowers coming through as well, so a few little blossoms there. I'm actually thinking of maybe putting this one outside, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll see if she does all right inside. If she doesn't do well for me inside, I might actually banish it outside. I have killed a string of pearls before. It just died, but it was a very small plant and it was very early on in my plant collection journey, and I didn't know very much about it, and I think I may have overwatered it. Hopefully, because it is in an advanced stage of growth, maybe it'll do better for me. So here's to hoping, fingers crossed. I thought I will try again, but I needed to make sure that it was a large, mature plant before I got another one, because I didn't want to kill another one. There's this one. This is a Schefflera, a variegated Schefflera, and I wanted a Schefflera for a while, but the only ones I could find in different places were all the non-variegated ones. I specifically wanted a variegated Schefflera. But look at that beautiful foliage. It's actually kind of lopsided in the pot, don't you think? It's a bit lopsided, but that's okay. It adds character to the plant. It's a unique plant. So there's that. If you guys have any tips for Scheffleras, like growth tips, please do leave them in the comments down below. I want to pick your brains, and you know, if you have any tips for it, or if it's just a general care plant, like let it dry out, give it some light, spray it down, prevent pests from eating it up, you know, those general rules. Or if there's something specific I need to know about Scheffleras, please do let me know in the comments. I haven't ever had a Schefflera before. Love the look of this one. It's just like the longer I look at the leaves, the more I appreciate the beauty of it. It's just so unique, and to me it looks really special. Really, really special. Love this one. She's so pretty. All right, and the last plant that I bought from Westlake Nursery, actually I bought one more than this after this, but it's one that I bought for my Mother's Day present. This video is probably going up after Mother's Day, or maybe it's going up on Mother's Day, I'm not sure. I'll probably show it to you anyway. My mom won't see it. She'll probably have already gotten that gift by the time this video goes up. So anyway, this is one more plant that I got from Westlake Nursery. This one is a ruby ficus. I already have one of these, but it's a bit smaller. Actually, it's a lot a bit smaller, and I just wanted one that was a little bit bigger. This plant is actually a little bit special to me because a few weeks ago, or a little while ago, I had another miscarriage. So I've had 2 miscarriages, and this might seem a bit strange for me to just throwing this out there here on YouTube, but I've actually made another video talking about it on my other channel. But yeah, anyway, I purchased this tree for this second baby that I lost. I actually have another ficus that I purchased for the first baby just to remember her by. So I got this second one for my second baby that I lost. So I'm gonna put this in a really, really nice pot and put it in a really good spot and hope that the plant grows and thrives. And it's just a little something to remember my baby by that I never got to hold. It's just a little bit of a comfort for me to be able to have something tangible to look at while I remember the baby that I lost. So yeah, I got this ficus. Like I said before, ficuses do really well in this space, and I wanted to get a plant that I know loves this environment. So like, and not get a plant that I don't know the care of and might possibly die, and it'll just be like another loss for me. So I just wanted to get this ficus, and I love ficuses as well. If you couldn't already tell, I love ficuses. They do really, really well for me. Oh, and I'll just quickly show you the other plant that I got. So this is actually a Mother's Day present for my mom. My 6 siblings and I are gonna divvy it up and give this to my mom for Mother's Day. It's another ficus, and I think this will really do well in the space that my mom has at her house. It's got several plants, it's got several, what do you call it, stems growing within the pot. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's got 9 stems growing in this pot, in this plant. And I got the pot to go along with it as well. I just got a plain, nice white pot. You can't go wrong with white. I feel like it goes in any space. So this is the plant. Stunning, stunning plant. It's got beautiful foliage. It's got a mix of a burgundy ficus as well as some bubblegum ficus or ruby ficus. I don't know. The guy at the nursery called it a bubblegum. I think it's a ruby, but maybe it's one and the same. I don't know, just 2 different names for the one thing. So yeah, I got this one for our mom, and I hope that she has a wonderful Mother's Day. And I think this video might be going up on Mother's Day as well. So happy Mother's Day to you if you are a mother or grandmother, and even maybe a mother-to-be. Happy Mother's Day to you, or a mother, even if you may have lost your baby like me. I'm still a mother and you're still a mother. So happy Mother's Day to you. Hoping that you are able to spend it with some people that you love today. Anyway, let's start with the being sentimental, and I want to update you on a couple of plants that I got in my last plant haul that I talked about. So bear with me while I gather myself together, and I'll find those plants and I'll have a chat to you about them as well. Okay, so before I actually talk about the update on plants I got in my last plant haul, not all of them, just a few that I really want to talk about, I actually forgot to mention this one, and I can't forget to mention this one because this was the most expensive one in the whole haul. This one was $40. It is an Alocasia Red Secret. I actually got this from the Rockbank Nursery. I saw it on my way home and I did a quick detour to check it out. There wasn't actually much at that nursery, but I picked this one up. This one was beautiful. I picked up a lot of Alocasias recently, but this is by far the most expensive one that I have ever purchased. It does have a little growth point coming out in the center there, so that does say something to me that it's going to be a really nice plant. So let's just hope that I don't kill this one because it was very expensive, and in hindsight maybe I shouldn't have bought it. I think I just blacked out when I saw it and I was just really excited and I bought it. So that's the Red Secret. Let me know if you have any special tips for this Red Secret. Leave it in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts. Would you pay $40 for a plant this size? I don't know. Am I being crazy? Maybe I am. Let me know in the comments down below. What is the most amount of money that you've ever paid for one plant? Whether it's big or small, rare or common, let me know how much. I'm interested to see how far this passion goes for some people. As you can see, it goes very far for me. Okay, now update on some plants from my last haul. So I was talking about my Monstera siltepecana that I purchased. It was, if you remember, it was wound up in the basket and it was a very long vine. I actually did end up chopping it and propagating it. And if you did watch my last video, not my last one, but the one before, it was Propagate With Me. It's called Propagate With Me. I ended up chopping and propagating this Monstera siltepecana. Half the cuttings I propagated back into the pot and they're actually doing really super well. And the other cuttings are still in a glass of water. But I will do a proper update on this particular plant in some upcoming videos. The cuttings took very quickly to the soil and the leaves look really super like vibrant almost. And I'm excited to plant those propagation cuttings in the water back into this pot and have an even more full and lush plant at the top. However, I will update you guys properly on another video where I'm planting all my propagations into some soil. And we'll have a little bit of chat about it as we go along as well. This Acumentissima, it's doing pretty good. Like, it's got a couple new growth points. I was talking about it in my last video that I picked it up because it was a bit of a different plant. I hadn't seen this anywhere, and it's nice to have different plants because I've got all the usual suspects already. But she seems to be going okay. I feel like it is a little bit of a thirsty plant. My Homalomina is a very, very thirsty plant. I feel like I need to water it almost every single week. And while I think this might be a different variety I kind of feel like it has the same characteristics as the Homalomina. I'm still kind of seeing how it goes, you know, but so far so good. She seems to be doing okay. Some of the leaves have gone a little bit yellow there because I let it dry out too much, so that's what tells me it kind of likes to have its soil fairly moist. I actually have it sitting up here on the plant shelf, and it's loving just sitting there amongst its other little plant friends. So yeah, that one's doing okay. She's doing pretty good and getting quite lush and tall. It hasn't declined, so that's probably the biggest thing is when I'm updating you guys on plants that I purchased in a haul, is, you know, whether or not it has declined, and this one has not, so that's really good. This is the silver dragon alocasia that I purchased from my workplace, the two that I purchased for $22 each. I actually ended up potting the two plants together into this one pot, so that gave me a nice fuller, lusher looking pot here as well. It's doing all right. It's since thrown out a new leaf on each plant since I purchased it. So that's a new leaf right there, and that's a new leaf right there. How cute. She's adorable. We're coming into colder weather now, so I feel like they're not going to really throw out a lot more new growth now following soon, so I'm not going to expect that, so I'm not disappointed. She's doing okay. There's a couple little yellow tips there, but I feel like that might just be because, I don't know, that's normal. I feel like yellow tips can be normal in a lot of plants. It's just the way that it goes. But overall, the plant itself seems to be doing really well. Some of the leaves have grown a bit bigger since I got it as well. So yeah, overall, it's doing okay. Oh, I have that lemon lime philodendron. Thank you to everybody, by the way, who mentioned in the comments what they thought that philodendron might be. This plant has very delicate leaves, as I mentioned before, and I feel like if the plant itself gets too wet, leaves go really mushy and soft like this. It's like what peperomias do when you overwater them. The leaves go really limp and soft and mushy. The leaves on this philodendron are very, very different from like a Congo or a red philodendron, where the leaves are almost waxy and very, very thick and dark. This one has very delicate leaves, very soft leaves, and they almost feel like the thinness of a calathea leaf or something like that, almost a little bit more delicate even. I have a feeling that I need to be very careful not to overwater it, because all the leaves at the base have actually gone a bit mushy, and I've had to pull them out just to make sure that they don't rot the rest of the plant. That's just a little something that I've realized along the way in the short few weeks that I have owned this plant. I have it currently sitting on the bottom shelf here, and it's doing okay. It doesn't get lots of bright, super direct light, but I don't think it could manage too much bright direct light because, again, the leaves are very delicate and quite fragile as well. As I'm looking at it right now, there's a couple little growth points there. It seems to be doing okay in this new environment. When I purchased it, the soil was very, very wet and the pot was very heavy, and it's still kind of heavy now, so I don't think I'll need to water it for a little while yet. It's a little bit of a learning journey, you know, as I get new plants that I haven't had before, just kind of looking at them and, you know, thinking about what their needs might be based on their characteristics or the way the leaves feel or the way the leaves look. So yeah, these are all just thoughts that come through my mind, and I'm sharing them with you guys in case you're able to learn something from this, something or anything at all. I think that is it for this plant video. Thank you so much for watching. Please tune in to next week's video where I'm going to be talking about, what am I going to be talking about? Let me look at my notes. I will be talking about all my favorite plant books. That video is coming up next week. I'm going to try and put out a bonus video throughout the week as well, where I'm going to be planting my propagations into soil and having a chat to you guys about it. So thanks for watching today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Please like the video if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!